Yo, what is up guys? It's Andos here, your friendly neighborhood tips and tricks Warzone guy. How's your day? What is going on? In today's episode, we are going to talk about winning more gunfights. My personal story on this subject. Playing Warzone, I've always been super frustrated when it comes to winning gunfights. I feel like no matter what I do, people are just super sweaty. So to counter that, I'm constantly trying to find ways to improve my chances, watching the videos on the latest meta, looking at pro gameplay, watching my own VODs to fix my mistakes. Yes, I'm a little bit obsessed. I would say it's because I am super competitive when it comes to playing Warzone, because one of the best feelings is just destroying people. When I lose, I admit I do get a bit salty. I'm not perfect, but you know, I just don't like losing. It's just the nature of the game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Saying that, I have been making some adjustments, putting in some work, and noticed that I've been winning a lot more gunfights compared to a couple months ago. There are a few essential little details that people miss out on that tend to be a huge deciding factor between losing and winning. So today's episode, I'm going to share 3 huge tips to help you win more gunfights in Call of Duty Warzone. Before we begin, please demolish that like button. It does really help me out. Sub to the YouTube channel for awesome Warzone content. I do stream on YouTube as well. Maybe to drop by and say hello. If you are interested in personal one-on-one coaching, check out my website www.andos.gaming.com. Link will be in the description and the pinned comment. That's where I analyze your gameplay, give feedback, formulate a training program for you just to make sure you're getting the best experience when playing Warzone. Last but not least, check out my merch Do You Even Slide Cancel collection that will also be on my website. With the intro out of the way, let's begin. Tip number 1, shoot first and then aim down sight in close range gunfights. This is one of the most important changes I have made recently to my game. You ever get into a close range gunfight where it's kind of like a 50-50 situation and you're like, man, I should have won that. I'm worthless. My friends, I'm gonna think I'm trash. Well, if you shoot first and then aim down sight, you're not going to feel that way anymore and you are going to win way more gunfights. The traditional way of FPS games have always been is you aim, then you shoot to make sure you hit your target. Look, that will work in other games, but in Warzone, it's more complicated than that. At close range, it is always beneficial to shoot first and then aim. If you do this and pair it with your movement and good centering, you are going to win way more gunfights, trust me. So throughout gunfights, I'm always hip firing before I ADS to get a couple bullets in as quick as possible, which is your top priority. If you don't believe me, let me show you some examples. Apologies, I have used this clip before, but it is a really good example to show how shooting before aiming down sight can really help you get more kills. I'm chasing down a target and I notice this person is hiding to my left. I use Hipfire before I aim down sight. Really quick, easy kill. Another scenario, this person pops up out of nowhere. I slide cancel, but I Hipfire before I aim down sight as mentioned. Get a couple bullets in really quickly, and then I perform a jump shot and get the easy kill. In the next scenario, I get surprised from behind. Watch how I slide cancel into the enemy to break that camera. And as mentioned, look how I shoot first and then aim down sight. I managed to get 2 to 3 bullets into the enemy even before aiming. A super effective technique. In this scenario, I jump over the ledge here. Even though I Hipfire and miss some shots, I'm building good habits to kill the enemy as quick as possible. Already shooting as soon as I turn the corner and getting the easy kill. Make sure the next time you play Warzone and you're fighting at close range, shoot first before you aim. It can give you a really big advantage during gunfights, so make sure to try this technique as well. Tip number 2, centering and crosshair placement. By the end of the video, you'll notice that a lot of these tips and tricks kind of tie together. They kind of work in unison, which overall will increase your chances of winning more gunfights. Okay, centering is super important. Make sure you have your crosshair around chest level where you think the enemy is going to be. Just a bit of anticipation. One important aspect of centering people tend to lack is crosshair placement during movement. I noticed that people will use movement, but your crosshair placement is too slow and out of position. You need to center your crosshair quickly during movement to save valuable time. It also needs to be accurate, so you don't need to make adjustments. The less adjustments you make, the more time you save. Notice in this example how I slide cancel around the corner. My centering is very deliberate. I try to keep the dot on the target, so when I turn the corner, all I really want to do is aim down sight and shoot. As shown on the screen, even when using movement, you want to be facing the enemy as quick as possible, so you want to make sure that your crosshair is on target around chest level. So what I noticed as a bad example is a lot of people having their crosshair too low or just really out of position, and then you need to make adjustments to get your shots in. So it's really important to keep your crosshair around the enemy. When you have bad centering and bad crosshair placement, you're going to lose a lot of gunfights. You're going to waste a lot of time adjusting your aim. So make sure you keep your centering in mind, especially during movement, just to make your life a bit easier. Let's break down some live scenarios for further analysis. In this scenario, I am fighting on the roof at prison. I break armor, so I decide to push. I know the enemy is around the corner, so I proceed to do a slide cancel. Notice how I'm turning 90 degrees, so my centering and crosshair placement is on point as soon as I expose my body around this corner. It's all about efficiency and saving time in Warzone if you want to win more gunfights. All I need to do now is shoot the target and get the easy kill. Next time you're playing Warzone, make sure to pay attention to your centering and your crosshair placement. When you're slide cancelling and doing jump shots and everything like that, stay disciplined with your crosshair placement. You're going to get way more kills. Before we continue with the tips and tricks, please smash that like button. It would mean the world to me. Sub to the YouTube channel if you like this type of content. Check out my streams as well. I do stream on YouTube. Drop by, say hello. Also, if you are interested in 1v1 coaching, go check out my website at www.andosgaming.com. Let's continue. Tip number 3, use Hipfire to help with close range tracking. Do you ever get into a close range gunfight and you lose track of the enemy and end up dying? You're aiming down sight, however the ultimate sweat god you're trying to shoot is moving at the speed of light and you miss a couple of shots? Well, that has happened to me a few times. I always thought it was better to aim down sight and track the enemy for the best accuracy. However, what I noticed at close range, if you lose sight of the enemy, go into Hipfire mode. Retrack your enemy. When you switch back into Hipfire mode, you have higher sensitivity and a higher FOV, which can help you track the target again. Once you have the enemy back in your crosshairs, you can aim down sight again and finish off the target. Let me break down an example and I'll show you what I mean. In this scenario, I am looking for someone downstairs. Notice how I get a couple shots in, however, I start to lose track of the enemy. The target is slide cancelling towards my right. Bear in mind, this is slowed down. This was super fast in real time. I knew I would not have been fast enough to shift my aim while aiming down sight. So I used Hipfire to retrack my target and eventually go back into ADS mode and finish this person off. When you're fighting at close range and you feel like you're losing track of your enemy, go into Hipfire mode. It does help out a lot. Make sure to try this technique out for yourself as well. Well, that is it for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Just some final thoughts about Warzone at the moment. The new map, Fortune's Keep. I like it. It's something different. I actually really enjoy the different scenarios you end up in. I feel like Rebirth can be a bit repetitive with its more design. So yeah, for me, the new map is definitely a W. I will be making some videos on this subject coming soon. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new map. Anyways, I wish you guys all the best and good luck on the Warzone.